We have confirmed that malware called Zloader has multiple transmission routes. We report the result of the attacker's attribution by analyzing the Zloader and the route of infection. In addition, as a result of attribution, malware used by attackers is also attributed. I am an analyst who analyzes cyberspace threat at RAC Cyber Emergency Center. I mainly investigate drive-by download attacks using the exploit kit and malware delivered from spam emails. In addition, the results of survey are posted on the Twitter account at Falcon Intel. This is the agenda for this session. In the first section, I would like to talk about the current trend of spam email malvertisement in Japan. Next, look back at the trend in malware distributed by Emotet. I will also cover activities that distribute the Zloader. The second section describes the current trend in drive-by download attacks against malware infection in Japan. I would like to talk mainly about the three campaigns that distributed the Zloader. The third section links spam email to drive-by download attacks relationship by analyzing the Zloader. Finally, I would like to talk about the findings obtained from the analysis. In the first section, I would like to talk about the current trend of spam emails malvertisement in Japan. Let's talk the trend in malware distributed by the Emotet malware infection campaign. We provide managed security services that analyze logs obtained from security devices of more than 900 organizations, such as government offices, major manufacturing companies, and educational institutions. Among them, I will mainly talk about the tendency of spam mail detection. The number of phishing emails has been increasing since May 2020, and it can be seen that many phishing emails related to EC sites are still detected as of 2021. This slide shows the detection status from September 2019 to February 2021. Focusing on other than phishing emails, it was also observed by Emotet in Japan from around October 2019 to February 2020, and from July 2020 to January 2021. Emotet has not detected it since January 21st, 2021. In addition, many Gand Club ransomware were observed in February 2020, which was delivered by spam bot called 4px. Let's talk about Emotet. Emotet is a malware identified since 2014 and evolved in many ways. Emotet has evolved as a modular malware with features such as delivering spam emails and delivering other malware. In fact, in Japan, spam emails by Emotet have been observed since around September 2019, and many organizations have been damaged. I will talk about the type of emails aimed at infecting Emotet and the flow of infection, even if Emotet is not infected within its own organization. If it is infected with Emotet in another organization, the mail exchange between the organizations may be stolen, and the mail may be sent to the own organization under the guise of replying to the mail. Such emails are difficult to identify suspicious points and have contributed to the increased infection of Emotet. As shown in the slide, some emails intended to infect Emotet have a URL link in the body of email. See picture A. And some emails have files attached. See picture B, C, D. We mainly observe the case where see picture C. Word files with malicious macros are attached to emails. Emails can be broadly divided into 4 types. But in each case, the user finally opens a Word file with a malicious macro and clicks enable content to execute the macro and download embedded. After that, it leads to infection. Devices infected with embedded communicate with the C2 server and download embedded modules and other malware. Fortunately, Europole's Operation Ladybird was successful takedown. However, we think there are various actors behind embedded. From here, I will talk about the malware distributed by embedded. Now look back at trend in malware distributed by embedded malware. Embedded has distributed several malware aimed at stealing online banking credentials. Also, the malware distributed by embedded depend on the time of infection. The one shown on this slide shows the malware and timing distributed by embedded observed in Japan. Gozi was distributed from September to October 2019. After that, from October 2019 to February 2020, we observed TrickBot. TrickBot also has analysis tools on the GitHub, and it was easy to obtain web inject information. Since then, embedded has case activity, and when embedded resumed activity in 2020. QuackBot will be distributed in addition to TrickBot. We think that the attackers started using QuackBot in addition to TrickBot in attempt to detect VMs and interfere with security researchers' analysis. However, I confirmed the web inject information for overseas banks from QuackBot, which I confirmed at this time, but I could not confirm the web inject information for Japanese banks. After that, Zloader was distributed from August to September 2020. From this Zloader web inject information, I was able to confirm that it targets Japanese banks. We think that the attackers switched from here to Zloader instead of QuackBot because of the apparent focus on stealing online banking credentials from infected devices. After that, in December 2020, attackers switched to using TrickBot. But by this time, it seems that Japanese users were fortunately less damaged. We had confirmed the information that embedded distributed the ICE-ID, but could not confirm the fact that embedded actually distributed the ICE-ID in Japan. However, we have confirmed spam emails that infect ICE-ID. Next, let's look back on how to distribute Zloader from spam emails. Let's talk about the malvertisement activity in Japan that distributes Zloader. This slide is explaining overall distribution of spam emails in Japan. Regarding the distribution method of Zloader, there were spam mails using embedded and those that distributed Zloader without using embedded. Word with macros was used as a downloader when using embedded. On the other hand, an Excel file with macros was used as a downloader when embedded was not used. Zloader is banking Trojan that aims to steal online banking credentials by downloading additional modules from the C2 server. Attackers will expand their remote desktop or VNC capabilities for remote control of infected terminals as well as keyloggers and screenshots for stealing information. When infected with Zloader, a file with a random name is created under updater folder of the file that downloaded the module to use Zloader itself and additional functions. The path information and file name created during this infection are included in the bot info that will be introduced later. In addition, a temporary file may be generated under temp folder. To be permanently active when infected with Zloader, register the value in the HKCU software, Microsoft, Windows, current version, run key. Also, Zloader registers multiple new key in HKCU software, Microsoft, and register the value of the following data as reg binary type. This includes Zloader version information, ID to identify infected terminals, Xbox, and module path information used to decrypt files such as modules encrypted by Zloader, and the name of the added registry in bot info is included. Zloader data includes command execute, result, and sheet server communication destination information. Finally, it contains JavaScript code that encrypts the web inject information, where you can identify the bank information that Zloader is targeting. Let's talk about Zloader's malware analysis distributed by spam emails. Let's talk about Zloader analysis. Then I will talk about how to make attribution based on the information from Zloader's analysis. Zloader has an RC4 key to decrypt the encrypted base config. When you decrypt the base config, you can see the bot name ID, campaign ID, sheet server information, and the RC4 key to decrypt the bot info. Then decrypt the encrypted base config with the RC4 key. You can see that it contains the bot name ID, campaign ID, sheet server information, and the RC4 key used to decrypt the bot info. One of the added registries, it checks the decryption of bot info. In there, you can find the bot ID to identify the infected devices. Also, when infected with Zloader, it will download the module used by Zloader itself and other additional features. Then you can check the path information and file name to create the file under updater folder. You can check the name of the Zloader added registry data and registry name used for web injection. After communicating with the sheet server, the web inject information will be added to the registry. The Zloader specific attribution is made using the bot name ID, campaign ID, and RC4 key for decrypting base config. Especially even if the campaign ID and bot name ID are different. The same RC4 key is used, so it's suitable for attribution of attackers. You can see that the Zloader bot name ID distributed by Emotet on August 27, 2020, and September 17, 2020 is SG, and the campaign ID is also SG. You can see that the RC4 key is also the same as E858 blah blah. I was checking the Zloader's bot name ID, campaign ID, and RC4 key that has been distributed from spam emails. It can be confirmed that bot name ID of Zloader observed on October 20, 2020 is R1, and the campaign ID is also R1. You can see that the RC4 key is also E858, blah blah. In addition, it can be confirmed that the bot name ID of Zloader observed on October 27, 2020 is R2, and the campaign ID is also R2. You can see that the RC4 key is also the same as E858, blah blah. Now let's talk about the current trend in drive-by download attacks in Japanese malware infections. Let's talk about drive-by download attacks using exploit kit. First, I will explain the flow from exploit kit to malware infection. Drive-by download attacks use vulnerabilities such as Internet Explorer and Adobe Flash Player to infect malware. Before, compromised sites were tampered with malicious code and web visitors will be redirected to an exploit kit site. In recent years, attackers have used legitimate advertisement tampered to deliver malicious content. When a web visitor accesses the website, the user is redirected to the exploit kit by the malicious site. Exploit kit checks the user environment and infects them with malware if they are vulnerable. Exploit kit include Leak exploit kit and Fallout exploit kit. Different attackers distribute different campaigns. Leak exploit kit is an old exploit kit that has been in operation since 2014. Leak exploit kit use older vulnerabilities such as CVE 2018-8174 and CVE 2018-4878. Therefore, the infection damage is minimal. However, Leak exploit kit is still active. The traffic record when using a proxy called Fedora holds the traffic of Leak exploit kit shown on the slide. Since Leak exploit kit contains a special character string, it can be found relatively easily from proxy logs. Fallout exploit kit began to be observed around August 2018. However, it has not been observed since around November 2020. Fallout exploit kit use older vulnerabilities such as CVE 2018-8174 and CVE 2018-15982. The slide is about the traffic slide of Fallout exploit kit. It is difficult to find it from the proxy logs because it uses the HTTPS protocol and the URL does not contain a special character string. This table lists the IOC of the gate when observing Fallout exploit kit and the communication destination of Fallout exploit kit. Many of the IP addresses hosting Fallout exploit kit were on DigitalOcean's AS14061. Let's talk about the Zloader malvertisement campaign with exploit kit. I would like to introduce 3 campaigns that distributed Zloader by drive-by download attacks using exploit kit in Japan. The first is the Malsmoke campaign. Malsmoke is named by Malwarebytes. Malsmoke campaign uses exploit kit to infect Zloader by a smoke loader. Zloader has also been confirmed to be infected using fake Java installers. The second campaign is called ShouldGate. It was named ShouldGate by Naosec, a Japanese security researcher group. Most of ShouldGate campaigns are believed to be used in attacks target Japan. Because I was not redirected to exploit kit unless I was in a Japanese location for my research. Should get use different malware depending on the time. But banking Trojan such as Zloader was used by Zloader. Finally, there is a campaign called Make Money. This is defined in this section as the Make Money campaign from the character string included in malicious site. As with other campaign, the Zloader was distributed by a Zloader. In addition, we distributed various malware such as ransomware and rat without using Zloader. So we will introduce them in a later slide. Malsmoke campaign has been running since late December 2019. We have also confirmed attacks using fake Java installers as well as drive-by download attacks using exploit kit. Malsmoke's gate was redirected to exploit kit from the following malicious site hosted on IP addresses, these IP addresses, following domain below. In addition, user redirected to exploit kit from the following malicious site, following domain below. ShouldGet is campaign that we have been observing since July 2018. It mainly targets Japan and has distributed banking Trojan such as Gozi and Ramnit in addition to the Zloader. Malicious sites that were transferred to exploit kit tend to have Tokyo postal addresses and URLs such as tom.php. Make Money campaign is an attack that we have been observing since May 2019. The feature of Make Money is that it leads to exploit kit from the gate containing the keyword Make Money and Bitcoin hosted on these IP addresses. Make Money campaign conducts attack activities while switching the malware to be distributed depending on the time. In Western countries, DriveX malware is mainly distributed. Depending on the time, Gozi and the Zloader targeting Japan were distributed. As shown in this slide, those are some of the malicious sites used by Make Money. From April 2020, you can see that many malicious sites hosted on these IP addresses are used. In 2021, malicious sites continue to be created at these IP addresses. From here, it is a migration of malware distributed in Make Money campaign, which was confirmed in 2019. The ransomware was distributed with GetCrypt and Paradise. Spambot were distributed by Topsy and Holpix. Various malware such as Amade, Azort, and Predator are used. This slide is the malware identified in Make Money campaign in 2020. We have confirmed that Make Money campaign distributed Zloader by a Zloader on November 16, 2020. Malware analysis of Zloader distributed by malicious advertisement. Check the bot name ID, campaign ID, and RC4 key obtained from Zloader confirmed by Malsmoke. It can be confirmed that the bot name ID of Zloader observed on December 23, 2019 is NEST blah blah and the campaign ID is PLOH blah blah. You can see that the RC4 key is 03D5 blah blah. It can be confirmed that the bot name ID of Zloader observed on January 13, 2020 is OBNO blah blah and the campaign ID is OBNO blah blah. You can see that the RC4 key is 03D5 blah blah. As you can see, the bot name ID and campaign ID differ depending on the time of the malsmoke campaign. But you can see that 03D5 blah blah is used for the RC4 key. There have been many malsmoke campaigns, so I will introduce them later. The RC4 key is considered valid for the Zloader actor attribution. On the other hand, the time of infection can be identified from the bot name ID and campaign ID. Check the bot name ID, campaign ID, and RC4 key obtained from the Zloader confirmed by ShadowGate. It can be confirmed that the bot name ID of Zloader observed on October 30, 2020 is R1, and the campaign ID is also R1. You can see that the RC4 key is E858 blah blah. Check the bot name ID, campaign ID, and RC4 key obtained from the Zloader confirmed by Make Money. It can be confirmed that the bot name ID of the Zloader observed on November 24, 2020 is R1, and the campaign ID is also R1. You can see that the RC4 key is E858 blah blah. Attackers using the Zloader distributed in these two campaigns. From Zloader distributed in the two campaigns, ShadowGate and Make Money are likely to be the same. This is the traffic of Make Money campaign observed on March 25, 2020. When I was redirected to review exploit kit from a malicious site in Make Money campaign and infected with Zloader. The infected devices was downloading the Gozi payload from a malicious site called inaraclub.website. This table records the observation of ShadowGate. As you can see from this table, inaraclub.website can confirm that it is the gate used by ShadowGate. From the analysis from this distributed Zloader and the IOC used in the ShadowGate campaign, it is possible that the attackers using the Zloader distributed in these two campaigns are the same. You can see from previous attribution that there are multiple groups of attackers who using Zloader. Finally, I would like to talk about attacker group A and group B, which targeted Japan and actors who have been using Zloader since 2020. Let's talk about how Zloader shows relationship. As I've said so far, the RC4 key is useful for attributing actors when analyzing Zloader. It can be confirmed that the Zloader observed in Japan is classified into two RC4 key. Also, there are multiple infection routes. An actor with an RC4 key of E858 blah blah is defined as group A. An actor with an RC4 key of 03T5 blah blah is defined as group B. In short, Group A was distributing Zloader in spam emails, ShadowGate, and Make Money campaign. Regarding Group B, it is probable that Zloader was distributed using the malsmoke campaign. In the attack targeting Japan, Group B has also confirmed evidence of attacks targeting countries other than Japan via spam mails. Some slides from here are called TLP read from the information of Group A web inject. We have confirmed that it targeted Japanese financial institutions, credit card companies, and EC site. we have confirmed that the target financial institution include plenty of target institutions that cover not only major banks but also regional banks. From the Group B web inject information, we confirmed that one EC site and 2 credit card target institutions, a total of 3 institutions are targeted. Group B may have changed the web inject information depending on the location of the infected device. You can see from previous attribution that there are multiple groups of attackers who are using Zloader. Finally, I would like to talk about attack group A and group B, which targeted Japan and actors who have been using Zloader since 2020. No activity using group A's Zloader has been confirmed since November 2020. On the other hand, the activity of Shadowgate and Make Money, which are assumed to be Group A, continued in 2021 and distribute Gauzy using Zloader. The table in the slide shows the infection route, and the Zloader version when Group A was distributing Zloader. The bot name ID, campaign ID, and the RC4 key and MD5 of the sample to decrypt the base config. The RC4 key that decrypts Zloader bot info is shown in red color. Group A is attacked not only by spam emails, but also by drive-by download attacks using exploit kits. Various banking trojans were distributed in the Shadowgate campaign. The smoke loader used by Shadowgate and Make Money also has an RC4 key, which has been the same since July 2018. From these facts, it is likely that Group A used not only Zloader but also other malware. This slide is the transition of Shadowgate from July 2018. You can see that the exploit kit and malware used differ depending on the time. Since December 2020, Spellable exploit kit has been used. As for malware, you can see that it is often distributed by a smoke loader with banking trojans such as Zloader, Gauzy, and Ramlet. Since VM detection is used as a point for attackers to use smoke loader, it is thought that it has the purpose of making analysis difficult for security researchers. Actually, smoke loader does not work in the VM environment, so I'm investigating using an external box. The slide shows the RC4 key when analyzing the smoke loader used in Shadowgate in 2018 with triage. This slide then shows the RC4 key when using triage to analyze the smoke loader used in Shadowgate in 2020. Looking at the trend of banking trojan by spam emails from 25, Bebro and Robnik started spreading in December 2050, and the following year, June 2016, Bebro was spread in large amount. In addition, Gauzy started spreading in March 2016 and Dreambot, which is improved version of Gauzy was used in December, and it has been spread in large quantity since January 2017. After that, spam email spreading Bebro and Gauzy stopped in the later half of 2019, while MT spam email spread to Japan from around September 2019. As I mentioned before, MT distributed Gauzy, TrickBot, Hackbot, and Zloader. In addition to emoted spam emails, Zloader, ICID, and chatbot spam emails were also spread. It is possible that attackers targeting Japanese banks in this way are continuing their attacks while changing the malware they use and the base for delivering the malware. A report of damage in phishing from Japanese National Police Agency. This is the transition from January to November 2020. You can see that the number of cases of phish attempt and damage have increased so much since around September. This trend is matched to the time when emoted and phishing emails began to spread in large numbers. So far, phishing emails that trick Amazon and Apple have been delivered to Japan by Catwell. It distributed Gauzy and dry text, but these days it seems that they are not delivered from this Catwell we are monitoring. If anyone is monitoring phishing email to Japan, please let me know. Group B has been working on Zloader until around February 2021 using exploit kit and fake installers in the malsmoke campaign. All RC4 key that decrypt Zloader bot info is shown in red color. We know that we need to be careful about attackers that distribute Zloader in Group B in the future. In addition to the two groups introduced here, we believe there are other attacker groups using Zloader. There are many keys to decrypting the bot information identified during Zloader's analysis. It can be seen that the group with the RC4 key in red color that decrypts the bot information of Zloader is still active in 2021. We analyze the Zloader observed from spam emails and exploit kit. We also analyze Zloader uploaded to abuse.ch, triage, and anyrun. From Zloader's analysis, we were able to link spam emails which drive by download attacks campaigns. On the other hand, there is a problem that some infection routes are unspecified. We believe that more accurate attribution can be achieved by using tag functions such as abuse.ch and anyrun. We would like to identify the infection route as much as possible, disseminate malware information, and carry out attacker attribution. Thank you for your attention.